Okay, well, it won't be too long, don't worry. We'll
I
start
know
with,
words.
so I think you're about the only person who's at the moment who's generally managed to get Teofimo Lopez in a boxing ring. He's um he's had he's had a few his negotiations with people have been a bit wild recently. I was just wondering what was it like dealing with him in negotiations for a fight?
Oh man, you know what? Time when we actually got him in the ring, it wasn't too difficult because I think Turkey had wanted to fight. But before that, prior to that, it was like 2 years and maybe 3 years that we couldn't get the fight. And kind of like it got to the point where I actually did get the fight. I kind of really didn't care to fight him anymore. You know what I mean? Like it was just so long, But hey man, I think Turkey when Turkey really wants him, man, I think that it will happen.
Yeah, do you think we'll see him versus Shakur?
I don't know, man. They're both talking like if it's a done deal. I hope we do. I mean, I think Shakur's a special fighter. But me being in the ring with Teofimo, I know Teofimo's a really good fighter as well. So it's gonna be an interesting fight.
Yeah, just what was it? Obviously, been in the ring with him. What was he like in terms of his his whole package? He has these sometimes he has these great performances. He has some these really low ones. What did you find with him?
To be honest, I think the biggest problem, with facing him was, what he's really good at is that he's really athletic. He's a great athlete, and that was the biggest trouble, that I had, and not only that, but a couple of things that worked in his favor that didn't work in mine, as far as other things. But hey man, he's a good fighter, he's a good fighter, like I said, very athletic. And I think that fight will be very good. I mean, I haven't been in the ring with Shakur, so I can't speak on on that on a personal level, but I think it'll be a good fight.
Yeah, in terms of looking back, what do you wish maybe you could have done differently in that fight, or or how you approached it?
Yeah, man. There's a lot of things, one of them was, I was very active, as far as fighting. I had fought, November, against Jose Ramirez, which is a big camp. I started training in September for that fight. I had a week off. Then I fought again in February. I had to go into camp for Catterall. And then after the Catterall fight, literally a week later, I got the news for May. So November, February, May, all big camps, hard, tough camps, big fights. And I kind of wish I would have got maybe a couple more weeks of rest in between those fights, at least for the Teofimo fight. But no excuses. Yeah, I accepted the fight. It was an opportunity I couldn't turn down. So it was crazy to me. I didn't think the fight was gonna be in May, but it was so soon. But my body was tired from the Catterall for Ramirez camp, but it's okay. You live, you learn. But I think the biggest thing that I'll do different was just getting a little more rest. In between fights. And that way I could be a little more fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. So I read somewhere you're moving up to welterweight. Is that true?
Yeah, 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 yeah. We got it's time. It's time to make the move up. I mean, I don't struggle, crazy to make 140. I'm a big 140 pounder, but I just think being 11 years in 140-pound division, my father actually, my team made a decision that it's time to move up. I'd be stronger and man, don't get me wrong, those extra 7 pounds to lose or make a big difference. I don't know if we're gonna do a catch weight to start off or go straight to 147. So, it was a more team decision. I know I can still make the 140. So if there was a big fight out there, like a championship fight or something, we'll still fight at 140. But as of right now, yeah, we see ourselves at the 147 division, man. Everyone's moving up, so I think it's time for us too.
Yeah, who's a well, when are you looking at returning to the ring?
Man, I was hoping to return October. Then the fight got pushed to November, and then and then they, for some reason they asked me if I wanted to wait till January to do something bigger, and I said I'll wait till January. So I'm constantly in the gym. You'll never catch me out of shape. I'm always in the gym. It's just I know it gets a little frustrating, because I was so active. So, but everything works for a reason, and I don't think the rest would do me any harm. I think this time off is going to benefit me a lot. So I'm hoping beginning of the year, January, late, maybe early February, the latest. But take the year off, enjoy. I'm still going to be ready, in case one of these fights fall off or whatever. Then we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, who was it that you were in talks to fight with in the November then? What was that one going to be?
That one we weren't in talks with anyone yet. There was some names thrown out there, but some names that were thrown out there were still at 140, and I wanted to go to 47. But hopefully January, we can get the biggest name or bring someone in, see who it is. But November, yeah, we didn't really have a specific name out there that was thrown out there, but we were just ready for that date, and for some reasons it's just the date didn't work out, and so we're gonna wait for January.
Yeah, in the January one, has there been any names thrown about yet?
Not yet, not yet. We're still in early, talks about, still got to get the car together and see what's gonna happen. Rick's working on it. So just know that it's gonna be big, because Rick's behind it. So it's gonna be a big card, a big event, and hopefully a big name.
Will that be you headline?
I hope so. That's the plan. Hopefully me headlining the card. I haven't fought out here you know, in my own long time, so we're hoping to do something out here. Man, I've been traveling the world, man. I mean, I don't dislike it. I don't mind traveling, but I try to, I messaged Catterall and I messaged his team, his manager, and I was like, hey, let's do a rematch, for November. And I don't know if they just didn't want to. His manager's like, oh well, your styles don't gel. And I said, bro, I could stay in the middle of the ring if Catterall stays in the middle of the ring. The problem is you got to talk to Catterall, bro. He's always on his back foot. So if he's willing to do it, bro, I'll stay right in the middle of the ring. I don't know, I've done it before, so but they just didn't want the fight, bro. So that's all right. We'll wait. We'll move on and go to January.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because you're both in very similar positions, are you? 140 going up to 147, and he's also talked about saying, "Oh, if I get the opportunity at 140," so it would have been a good one. But I suppose, yeah, what you said makes sense. So,
No, no, yeah,
yeah.
I tried. I tried. I tried.
Now, I was at that one in Manchester. It was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't, but I enjoyed it. It's a good chess match.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Good chess match. Catterall's a good fighter, but it's like I told his manager, Sam Jones. I said, bro, if Catterall wants to stay in the middle of the ring, bro, I would love to. I've done it for a lot of times, so we can do it. I don't, he hasn't. Talk to him, and we can stay in the middle of the ring. We can do it. And yeah, but that's how far the conversation went.
Yeah, it looks like he's fighting Joe Akau Esserman, the one who just beat Josh Taylor.
Yeah, I don't even know who he's fighting, but I wish him nothing but the best. Man, like I told him the going to get his back if he really wants it, but I guess not. So we'll see. I mean, he's gonna go his path, I'll go my path, and hopefully those paths meet up again.
Yeah, it's a big week next week for welterweights. Lewis Crocker's fighting Paddy Donovan. Have you seen much of them?
Yeah, I actually messaged I think it was Crocker because I know they fought before, right?
Hmm.
So I had messaged Crocker. I told him that I wanted to fight him, but he said that he already had the rematch with Donovan. So I would love that fight. I already got my eyes on both of them. That's a big fight. So I already messaged. I trust me. I've been trying to get in with these guys. So I messaged Crocker myself, and I was like, hey, bro, let's do it. He's like, oh, I got to do this rematch first with Donovan, and then after that, we can do it. I said, all right, cool. So we'll see.
Yeah. Did you watch the first one?
Yeah, I did. I watched the first one. It was crazy. It was a crazy fight. Uh, Donovan's pretty good, man. So I don't know what we're gonna say. I think Donovan might get him this time.
Yeah. What did you
I
make of
think
the
he
end?
had him last time, but
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
I,
What did you think about the ending?
I think he had him last time. I think he had him last time. But it is what it is. The decision was made, and like I said, the fighters fight, the judges judge, and refs ref, right? So it is what it is. But I'm hoping to get any big name, maybe one of those. Hopefully, give me the opportunity after the fight.
Yeah. Another welterweight fight we've got coming up. Brian Norman, Devin Haney. Eddie Hearn's made a few comments recently, basically saying he thinks Devin Haney's a bit mentally traumatized from that Ryan Garcia fight, that he's now just in it for the money. What do you agree? What do you make of that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Because we didn't really see much from Devin his last time, right? I mean, he moved a lot. I mean, there's boxing and then there's like literally running, and I think Devin really moved a lot, But I think Norman's a very strong fighter, But if Devin Haney comes, 100% Devin Haney and could box him, use that stick and move a little bit, not a lot, like move, here and there, and I think he can beat him. But Norman's a really good fighter, really strong fighter, man. I think Norman wins the fight, but we'll see. I mean, man, like, we'll see what kind of mental Haney comes in.
Yeah, I know you've been speaking to nearly everybody for a welterweight fight. It looks like. Have you spoke to Rolly Romero at all?
Yeah, yeah. I try not. I didn't speak to him directly, but I had people reach out to him too, and he has options. Deservingly so. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna probably get the biggest fight and biggest name that he can. So like I said, I'm not coming into the welterweight division, expecting a title shot and right away and try. Nah, I want to earn it. Just like I earned my way to in the 140-pound division. I'm gonna earn my way to 147-pound division. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And I don't want no handouts, So I'm looking forward to doing that and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of promotional stablemates you've got at welterweight. Garcia's welterweight now, isn't he? That
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Garcia's there. Yeah, Garcia's there. I would love to fight Ryan. But like I said, he's also a guy that has options because of the name. But we'll see, man. Like I said, I hope we can lock in something big, something good. Um, and see what happens. I know Regis is there too. I wouldn't mind that fight. I messaged him a couple times. He said he wants to take a break, which is all right, cool. So like I said, man, trust me, I've been trying, man. I've been trying to get these guys, man. I'm hungrier than ever, man. I'm hungry. I've been training, I've been grinding, and I know. Just keep training hard, man, and something will come up. I'm very confident in that.
Yeah, you've been working overtime, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll,
man. All the time. I've been sometimes training. Like I feel like, I train sometimes like I'm in camp. I train in the morning and then I run in the morning, train in the gym, and then rest a few hours and then go to strength conditioning or gym again. So I'm constantly eating good. I never put I don't really put crap in my body. So it's just it doesn't get frustrating, but I just know I got to stay ready because the call can come anytime. Like it's like anytime really, like Norman and Haney's happening, right? Let's say something happens there, we can get a call, right, or something. So we're just gonna stay ready, man. We're gonna stay ready and and trust the process and God's timing and trust that that's all work out.
yeah, the last thing I've got to ask you about is the last welterweight on my list. Obviously, Mario Barrios. What did you make of his performance against
Yeah,
Manny Pacquiao?
man. You know what? It was a good performance. I mean, it's all right performance. I like Barrios, man. He's a good fighter. That's a fight that I would love. I would really love. Like I said, he probably has his options as well. But I usually PBC keeps it with PBC. They don't really like to fight anybody else. It's kind of like their own league, right? They only fight each other. But I would love to fight, man. I'm here. Like I'm here. I'm available. I'm open to all these guys, man. At the top of 147. Like I said, I'm here to earn it. If I got to fight a fighter or two to get a shot, then I will. I'm not here ducking anybody. I'm not here, I mean, you can look at my resume, my last three fights, so we're here, we're ready to go.
Arnold, it's a pleasure. I spoke to you in Manchester. It was a pleasure then, and it's a pleasure to speak to you again today. I really appreciate it.
Nah, thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the time.